diamonds are a girl's best friend is Jesus is a girl's best friend. A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but Jesus is a girl's best friend. He embraced me in sickness and told me not to worry. Yes, Jesus is a girl's best friend. My youth is renewed just like the mighty eagle, and the Holy Spirit keeps me sweet. The world may have its price, but the Holy Spirit's my advice. Yes, Jesus is a girl's best friend. Jesus, healer Jesus, he is my friend. Oh.
Very sweet. Okay. Let's see. Who's next? Oh, I am. That sounds good. Hi, I'm Mark, and I talk, and I can sing. Yeah. A couple years ago, I wrote a song called I Stand. In the prayer vigil, I actually got a third verse for it. So I'm going to sing that song for you, including the new third verse. All right? I stand before you, Lord, and here I stand to be all I am, to praise you. I stand before you, Lord, before you I stand to be all I am, to praise you. Though trouble come, your kingdom come, because you came for me. The King of days know all my ways, yet you still love me. I stand before you, Lord, and here I stand to be all I am, to praise you. I stand before you, Lord, before you I stand to be all I am, to praise you. Though I may cry, you reign on high, because you reign for me. Life it goes on, you are the one who embraces me. I stand before you, Lord, and here I stand to be all I am, to praise you. I stand before you, Lord, before you I stand to be all I am, to praise you. You shall return, heaven will learn, when you arrive for me. When time is done, you are the one who has set me free. I stand before you, Lord, and here I stand to be all I am, to praise you. I stand before you, Lord, before you I stand to be all I am, to praise you. There you go. Okay, Christine, I think you have a song. Welcome.
Oh, well. The wall.
Yeah, it's unplugged. Oh, remember just plugged into no, the power. It fell out the wall.
Oh, I think it's
Fell out the wall.
the orange cord.
The orange
Unplugged.
cord. The black one I just plugged into here.
Yeah.
So-
And the orange cord is unplugged in.
Yeah.
There.
So we have to unplug
That's okay, I'll plug
something,
it.
but what? Oh, there, it's okay.
It was
But,
plugged in there, so.
Kelsey, come here.
Kelsey?
There you go.
She's gonna take over.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
So if you don't know already, I play and sing piano.
Hey.
All right, that would make sense. I play piano and sing. All right. So aside from being a worship leader, I do my own music. I perform my own music. I released a CD back in 2007, and I'm working on a new one for next summer. And this song is going to be on it. So stay tuned if you like the song. And this is called Contagious Love. And I decided to play this one today because one of the themes for this weekend is revival and going out into the world and being an evangelist for Christ. And that's what this song is about. It's about making the love of Jesus contagious in our lives so that others who aren't Christians especially will see our love. I hope you enjoy. Oh, there we go. Kindle flames that spread like fire, warming every heart. Faith and truth, no compromise. This is just the start of contagious love poured into my soul. Contagious love is gonna make me whole. Contagious love, a joy like no other. I'm gonna tell the world that love is real. We're gonna love our brother. Do you feel oppressed? Does darkness hide the light? Do errors pierce and weigh you down? Is it like a fight? But there's a better way, where love can light your day. With faith in hand and an open heart, this is just the start of contagious love poured into my soul. Contagious love is gonna make me whole. Contagious love, a joy like no other. I'm gonna tell the world that love is real. We're gonna love our brother. I dare you to believe that living life for others is what we've been called to do. To live by faith and not by sight refreshes the heart anew. Yeah. Contagious love poured into my soul. Contagious love is gonna make me whole. Contagious love, a joy like no other. I'm gonna tell the world that love is real. We're gonna love our brother. Contagious love is gonna make me whole. Contagious love, a joy like no other. I'm gonna tell the world that love is real. We're gonna love our brother. I'm gonna tell the world that love is real. We're gonna love our brother. Ooh, yeah. Contagious love.
Very nice. All right, Frank and Karen, I believe you have a song as well.
You want to take this one here?
or?
No, we're gonna use that, and we won't use a microphone, but we'll move that on, so we're gonna use this. Oh, this is fine. This. So this song is called Light Up the Fire. It's kind of a 6/8 waltzy type, so if we end up with little dancers in the front, it won't surprise me. Oh, we won't be able to use that. Good try. We'll project.
The reason
We're
I
going to do our best to
chose it.
project. We are going to project our voices and we're going to play softly.
Okay.
Dad. This is my dad. Hey, Stu.
And the reason I chose it is because Aaron used to go out in the streets and play for the street people. And this is kind of a song about that.
But I don't do it anymore. But I used to go with a soup kitchen called Night Shift, and so I would do the music, and they would be serving, so it wasn't just me waltzing down the streets, troubadour style. Oh, that could be interesting. And it sounds like other people just might do that.
Thank you. children's story?
He inadvertently brought the short version.
Oh, so it's extra tiny. Extra tiny wee children's story for your amusement. AKA Durette's Calderwood. Yay!
Yeah. I have to And I thought, oh, if I get a pie on my face, I hope it's a huckleberry. I didn't realize it was a bit long. The Elephant Girls visit their relatives and friends. Now, every word in the story, all the quotes are like word for word. They gave me my material, everybody. And all the names are changed except a couple. So, a couple of wonderful native people. Mr. Hurry was in a flurry of activity when the Elephant Girls came for a visit. They are cousins, the Elephant Girls, and Mr. Hurry is related to them as well. As Mr. Particular, who you will meet later on. Since Mr. Hurry was in the Yukon, way up north near Alaska, the Elephant Girls decided to bring him, wrapped in bubble wrap, a paint-by-numbers moose. They called it, their picture, "This moose is my moose, this moose is your moose." Mr. Hurry was starring in a musical play called Me, which is short for It's All About Me. Soon after the Elephant Girls arrived, they went shopping with Mr. Hurry, who rushed through the market, picking up this and that like a small tornado. The Elephant Girls were cautious, deliberate shoppers who watched the prices of food all the time. Mr. Hurry, on the other hand, never even glanced at the rather high prices he paid. In fact, the girls were astonished at how little time they had spent at the market, there and gone, as it were. The Elephant Girls cooked a delicious dinner, and when they gave Mr. Hurry his plate, he immediately ran downstairs to watch a loud, silly TV show. Since there was no table to eat at, the girls sat on the couch, holding their plates on their laps. Perhaps we could ask him to sing for us. He's good at that, they mused. The very next day, Mr. Hurry told the Elephant Girls to just go with the flow and don't have any expectations. They looked at each other and agreed. We will go with our own flow and not put any expectations on ourselves. Now, in the town lived a very kind lady who was almost 100 years old. Her name was Annie, but she was called Grandma by some. The Elephant Girls arrived at her house and watched her beading flowers on a pair of moccasins. She threaded her needle without wearing glasses. "Oh, tourists," said Grandma. "I tell you stories, but you don't listen." Oh. The girls were sitting at her feet. "Close the screen, or the flies will get in," said Grandma. We will listen. We will listen," said the girls. Since Grandma had a cough that day, the girls decided not to nag her for stories. Grandma had a son named Isaac who had made a motorboat. Isaac took the Elephant Girls and Mr. Hurry in his boat to a place Grandma and her husband, he died at 104, had raised their 12 children. They saw the wood house, and Mr. Hurry took photos of the whole scene with his digital camera. Isaac's father hunted all winter long when Isaac was a boy. He brought home moose, and Grandma made coats from their hides for her family. They shared some of the wild game he brought home with their community. Grandma took in other children who needed a home as well. Nobody was turned away. The Elephant Girls loved Grandma and decided to make rosehip sauce for her cough. They gathered the rosehips, which grew plentifully in the Yukon around Dawson City, and which are full of vitamin C. When they arrived, Grandma was reading her Bible. Her daughter Mary explained that Grandma never beat it on Sunday. They all had a little prayer together and said goodbye. Mr. Hurry is doing acting and singing in the evenings and photographing birds and their nests during the daytime. Mostly he photographs small birds, which look bigger in the photos than they actually are. He took the Elephant Girls around to the places where he photographed birds and nests, and they gathered the vacant nests. The nests looked so tiny. Some of the birds in the Yukon are yellow warblers, common redpolls, red on their heads and breasts, hermit thrushes, and Arctic terns. I would exhibit the photographs, but I don't have them. The Arctic terns are ground nesters, and there's quite a bit of squawking and carrying on when Mom comes back to her little ones after searching for food. Small fish are their joy. A cinnamon-colored bear snuffled around the tent where Mr. Hurry was photographing his birds. The bear knocked over Mr. Hurry's strobe lights and looked in the tent window. Mr. Hurry held his breath, and soon after the bear trundled off, but not before Mr. Hurry took a photo of him. Before the elephant girls left for their long bus ride home, Mr. Hurry gave them a pile of his beautiful bird photographs. There were pictures of mother and father birds with insects and worms in their beaks feeding their young. Some of the birds in the photos were flying to and from their nests. They were cleaning them out as they flew leaves in their beaks, or babies' droppings called a fecal sac. After being home a short wee while, the elephant girls decided to visit their other relative called Mr. Particular. He was very kind to the girls and did odd jobs around their homes. Now, Mr. Particular talked so much during their visit that one of the elephant girls fell asleep and woke herself up with her snores. Mr. Particular's place was very hot in summer because he did not open any windows. I kept letting the flies in here, he exclaims. I suppose you could say the birds got more flies. The girls suggested a picnic because one of them had a birthday to celebrate. Mr. Particular said, "Too many hornets and flies out there." The girls took him along anyway. There were fields of beautiful pink flowers in the country area where they enjoyed their picnic. Mr. Particular exclaimed, "I like things simple. I'd cut them all down." The girls were very glad the fields didn't belong to Mr. Particular. After the picnic, the elephant girls decided to carry on to one of their own homes. By the way, it was Mr. Hurry who named them after the elephant girls because of elephant ways. Certainly not rolling in the mud, the girls explained. If there was another name for Mr. Hurry, the girls decided it would be Chicky Red Squirrel. They made a big pot of tea, chatted away, and moved on to who knows what interesting occasions.
The dear old
100-year-old lady who made it in the Globe and Mail.
Longest marriage, I think, she had.
Notice all of the people in that story are actual people. They weren't just characters. So,
They're all a bunch of characters, though.
well, they are a bunch of characters, but they're actual people too. All right. David Scott, I believe you are on the piano. Grace us with your presence.
This song is The Entertainer.
You gotta play louder too, babe.
Let's see.
Your turn then. Just press something. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, please,
Thank you, David. I believe we have the choir giving us a musical piece. And I think that will end us off for the night. Choir, come on down.
So did you do your thing yet? Okay, you're after us. But don't go for an hour or anything, okay?
Do you want a mic, choir, or?
Nope, no mics.
No mics?
Be careful.
There is love vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood. When the prince of life are ransomed, shed for us his precious blood. Who is love will not remember, who can cease to sing his praise. He can never be forgotten through our heaven's eternal day. Here is love that fills the ocean, loving kindness as a flood. When the prince of life our ransom shed for us his precious blood. Who is love will not remember, who can cease to sing his praise. He can never be forgotten through our heaven's eternal day. On the mount of crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide, through the floodgates of God's mercy, flow a vast and gracious tide. Rivers of love like mighty rivers, poured in steps and from above, and peace and perfect justice kiss the guilty world in love. Grace and love like mighty rivers, poured in steps and from above, and peace and perfect justice kiss the guilty world in love. Kiss this guilty world in love.
We have one more. Wait, don't go.
Don't go, I've been told not to be long. Two poems. They are Ascent. This was written many years ago when Henry turned 58. She wrote me a reply a long time after that when I turned 58. So I didn't used to write poetry, now I've got a whole book of it. This is one I wrote to Carrie. It's called My African Queen.
Romantic.
Try not to cry. For my African Queen. Child of Africa, like your homeland, dark and mysterious, with breathtaking beauty and rich resources, a delight to explore, but not for the faint-hearted. Rich diversity, fragrant, fruitful, very desirable. Wild but warm, colorful, passionate, brimming with promise. Bride of Africa, mother of a tribe, champion of the long road, survivor of the great heat, bearer of the glorious word, friend of a multitude from many nations. Mother of Africa, womb that brought forth mighty men, breasts that suckled beauties, a lap that welcomes gurgling grandkids, heaps on heaps, and a heart capacious enough to embrace the nations. Wife from Africa, co-laborer, helpmeet, vision sharer, burden bearer, doubler of joy, harbor of sorrow, companion on the road thus far, comrade on the path tomorrow. What does the future hold? Where does the path out of Africa lead? What horizons beckon? What hungry, thirsty people wait to feast with thanks on the rich fare God offers in and through you? Take my hand and walk with me.
This is one that I wrote to Russell. I hope I can read his handwriting. The journey continues. What an awesome joy and privilege to be traveling this journey of life with you, the love of my youth, and him in whom we have found eternal life. It's been challenging but full of exciting discoveries. We've tasted and we've seen that God is good. It's been our joy to see many come into the kingdom. We've experienced His faithfulness and His ever-abiding presence, His blessing and provision, His protection and amazing grace. We've witnessed His patience and love as He ever beckons us nearer to Him. Our desire has always been to serve Him, to be faithful, to love and trust Him, to be His hands and His heart extended, to be to others what He would be to them. We have given all we can, and it's been good. Now for the rest of our journey together, may I say this before we came to Canada, with nothing of ourselves left to give, we give our all to Him again, and we say, Lord, we are desperate, we are hungry, we want more of you. Lord, we want to see your face. May your kingdom come in us and through us as we walk with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all those who have done acts. And I remind you, dinner is at 5:30.